Yeah, this Kid Savage, you know, and it's only right that every song have a Savage mix. So this the Savage mix of this song right here.
Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? It's your boy Kid Savage back at it again with another Streebeefs commentary, man. This one been a long time coming. I've been saying that I was supposed to do this for a while now, and I finally made able to get to it, and yeah, man, about to give it to you live and direct, man. All honesty, no sugarcoating, no nothing, man. Just about to give it to you, just straight 100. Today we have a special one. We got the man himself, myself, Kid Savage, going against IB. This is my second fight in the Streebeefs organization, and this was in the Tampa event. My opponent, from at least what I knew about at the time, I didn't really know what he was good at. I didn't know how to approach the fight because my opponent prior, he was a wrestler, so I kind of didn't know what they expect or whatever it is maybe. But I knew that I had to be ready or whatever the case. So yeah, my opponent was IB. Like I said, I didn't really know too much from him, but I was starting to understand what kind of guy he is just by being in the fight with him. And this one, I would have to say, was probably one of my better performances, I would say. So far as aggression and offensive wise or whatever the case may be. My first fight, I felt like I wasn't too offensive. I was a little bit defensive, a little bit too defensive. It still ended up working out for me or whatever the case in the long run, but had I been a little bit more assertive like I was in this fight, I believe I would have got the finish. I would have ended that. I would have ended my first match with the finish, I mean. So yeah, just a little few notes to take in before going into this. I kind of prepared for this fight almost like the day of. I prepared for this fight kind of wrong, I guess you could say. I did a 30-minute run and then did a ice bath just to cool off or whatnot before going there. Ate me a little fruit platter or whatever the case. Didn't eat nothing too heavy because I don't want to be fighting with that in my stomach or whatever the case. But yeah, going into it, I felt pretty good or whatnot, man. I ain't feel, no kind of way. I felt actually pretty good or whatever the case. But between the preparation and then from being there and then the fight, I guess somewhere in between preparing for the fight the day of and the fight itself, I don't know what happened in between time. Maybe it probably was that 30-minute run that did me in, but man, I was hella tired, man. But yeah, it was bad. I was doing good, but I feel like maybe if I would have been more conditioned and wouldn't have gotten tired so fast, I would have lasted a little bit longer and got the finish in this one. But I ain't gonna spoil nothing else. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna just go ahead and do the reaction because that's what you all came here for. So yeah, man, Kid Savage versus IB.
6 foot, IB, and I'm 155.
We were both 6 foot and 155, about as even as it gets.
UFC gym, Lauderhill. I'm currently 155.
People be saying my intros be long. I gotta learn to shorten them up.
Girl drove down here with me, helped me get ready and whatnot. Want to shout out my homeboys, my boy Country.
Gotta get a shout out, Gotta always do it right by giving the shout outs to the ones that been riding with you from the beginning.
Out here doing great things, trying to show y'all some stuff. I want to also shout out my family.
I ain't work out too much this fight, but you can see that I worked out enough. You can start seeing some of the definition.
Streebeefs, we got an MMA match for you. This is gonna be a good one. We out here in Tampa. I need y'all to comment and DM me. Let me know what state and city you want us to hit next.
It's
also, big shout out to Cool Concepts.
It's going into it, man. I don't never feel no nerves or nothing, anything when I go into this. So it's kind of
in this corner, we got Kid Savage. 0-0 in Satan's backyard.
I was 1-0 at the time.
And in this corner, we
it's
got
kind of I don't know.
Also
I just don't be feeling that. I don't know what it is.
Fight hard.
Right,
strange thing, I say.
Listen to my rules at all times. Mouthpiece ready?
That boy, fur play.
Let's fight.
Fur play. These ones, come on. Stop. Throwing a little feints here and there. Nice little rear leg kick for me. And he ended up returning.
Straight punches, straight down the middle.
throwing a little feelers out every now and then, just trying to see what he doing. Threw a nice little lead head kick, but I didn't have enough reach on it, so we ended up tying up. I tried to get him off guard by going for like a little takedown, but I really just wanted to get in the clinch. He was trying to work hard for like a guillotine, but he wasn't really able to get it. Yeah. That thing on my head, I use it to kind of keep my hair in place, because I don't like it when my shit be falling all or wearing all over the place or whatever the case. What's up, bro? But yeah, I had to take it off, man. So pardon the hair for looking all crazy and shit. I had to tie it up so it wouldn't be in the way. Came back out with a nice lead. We both landed with a jab. His probably was a little bit more stiffer than mine, I'll give him that. But my leg kicks was doing him in though. It was doing a lot of damage. I kept doing damage to that lead leg. And then here, pop off a nice 1-2 leg kick and then finish it off with another leg kick. I think at this point his leg was starting to get a little stiff. I was hitting him with a lot of hard leg shots. Nice little body kick on the way entering in. I was tagging him before he was tagging me. I think I had like the longer reach. We both ended up hitting each other with a leg kick. Here I was starting to get a little gas, but I wasn't trying to let it affect me too much. Still trying to stay active, still trying to throw some strikes and get him to back up a little bit. That's why I was kind of like throwing anything at that. Not anything, but just trying to throw more straight punches because I know those will get to him before he get to me. Yeah, that last little bit, he kind of, I guess, I don't know, probably was tired, just wanted to call it a wrap or whatnot, so we ended it a little early. He come back out with a nice rear leg kick, ended up tripping me up, ended up getting me to take down. And then I ended up sweeping the position, but because we ain't got dang on pool noodles, he ended up standing back up, and really they could have just let it keep going because he stood back up, but you know, whatever. That's why I like cages better. Bumper pool noodle. I catch him with a jab on his way coming in. Tried to throw a kick. Then round two, I was a little bit more tired, man. He caught me with a nice body kick, so a lot of my shots are a little bit labored. Even that lead hook was labored, and then he ended up catching me with the knockdown. See, if this was a cage, I would have allowed him to hop in for more ground and pound, but for whatever reason, they had to play it like boxing, so got back up. Still hurt, still dazed, still tired, still trying to go forward, and ended up taking another shot going down there. So that was a wrap. Every time I watch this fight, man, I don't want to say I feel some kind of way, but it just made me think like I need to keep that same tenacity in this fight that I had. I mean, keep that same tenacity in other fights that I had for this fight. But yeah, man, he was able to kind of like weather the storm a little bit. He was taking a lot of damage, honestly. Like, he really was. He was taking a lot of damage, especially to the leg specifically. Had I been a little bit more trained, a little bit more conditioned and whatnot, I believe I would have got the finish in the second round, because at the end of the first, I was catching him a lot. Like, I was hitting him with a lot of jabs. I was showing him a lot. And he didn't really have too much of an answer, I would say, for it. Because I think at one point in time I hit him with a jab and it kind of like messed up his vision a little bit. That's why you see the little cut up under his eye, whatever the case. But yeah, I was just throwing a lot of looks at him to the point where he didn't really know what to do. So had I kept up that pace, had I kept up that fluidity of constant pressure, constant strikes, different variations of strikes, I believe I would have ended him sooner rather than later, basically. So I wasn't able to get the finish. He was able to finish me, get the knockdown, and to this day, man, I look back on that fight and just the few things that I could take from that fight is that I was a whole lot more assertive, a whole lot more aggressive. And in my fight with Streebeefs, like I said, I was too defensive, but I ain't gonna lie, that defensiveness was able to kind of get me over the slope, if you will, in the later rounds of that fight, because after a while I was able to reverse the position, get on top, and rain down my own ground and pound, finish out the second round. Then the third round, much more the same defense, and then got into a position where I was on top and rained down more ground and pound to get the dominant win in the first fight. This fight here, like I said, I wasn't as trained as I could have been, as I should have been, but I still was able to kind of like edge out around from him and whatnot. Prior to taking that fight, I was able to hit the mitts and warm up a little bit, so I guess that might have played to my hand a little bit better. But I felt like I said in the beginning, man, had I just kept training, had I trained a little bit more vigorously, and had I been a little bit more conditioned, I feel like I would have been able to finish the fight and at least got a finish. At least probably, I want to say around the second round, because I was catching him, he was catching me, but I think I was catching him more than he was catching me in the first round. And then lead that on to the second round, got rid of the condition. It would have been much more in the same, and it would have either been a TKO via leg kicks, or it would have been a TKO or a knockout via punches, or whatever the case may be. I had a few moments in there, a few shots that I kind of like whiffed, like that lead head kick that I threw. It was so close, man, and the only thing I needed was just to be a little bit closer. He didn't really see it coming, and I threw it up so fast to the point where he probably would have got dazed, if not starched, if it would have landed. So, you know, it was a loss on this one, man. I mean, the only thing I could do is just look back at it now, take it as a lesson and learn from it. But other than that, man, like, it was still a good showing from your boy. So, yeah, and IB, man, he did a good job. Like I said, he did a good job. He composed himself. I'm pretty sure he trained just as much as I did, if not more. He was able to kind of like weather the storm, take in all that damage, and then come out and get the dub, man. And yeah, congrats to him. I haven't seen him or spoke to him in a while like my previous opponents, but yeah, hopefully he comes back out, and who knows, maybe he'll run a rematch, or maybe he'll keep moving forward in the ranks, or whatever the case may be. But as for me, man, you know, still grinding, still trying to improve, still trying to train, still training, still doing what I can do, and trying to get ready for the next one, man. But I think I touched on about everything, you know, how I felt about the fight, what I could have done. Yeah, man, like I say, man, every time I look at this fight, I just kind of just remind myself, like, that's the kind of energy I need when it comes to, like, being assertive. And then I look at my other fights for more defensive keys as to where I need to be at defensively. But yeah, he was able to catch me with a few shots. I wasn't as defensive in this fight as I was my first and last fight, but I need that assertiveness back again. Definitely, I need to show that more next time. But other than that, man, this been your boy Kid Savage, back at it again with another Streebeefs commentary, my own commentary. And be on the lookout for the first one, and then also the third one. We should be doing that pretty soon, and giving that to you guys how I see fit. But other than that, peace.
Those are curious, and there's no fear in us. And we all chillin', bro. Don't try to fuck with us. This is how we do it, cause the stage